Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you people doing here? Back again with another football video here. So now I'm going to be talking about the Darwin Nunez transfer to Liverpool. That's right, because Liverpool recently, it looks to me that they've won the Premier League race for Nunez, and now that he's going to Liverpool, it just goes to show you here that this title race between Liverpool and Man City looks even more serious than it would already looks, because obviously you look at City here, they got Haaland, and now that Liverpool got Darwin Nunez here, so it just goes to show you here that even in the transfer window here, both Liverpool and Manchester City, they each are basically going head-to-head to see whether they can get the more better player. And obviously, I think to myself here that if you compare this transfer race here, obviously, I think that Man City obviously got the better player here, but Nunez, I would not sleep on him because obviously he had a really incredible season for Benfica, and obviously after that legendary season he had, it was just that one legendary season that, convinced Liverpool to pursue him, and they managed to get it done. So a big ups to Liverpool here. Now here's the thing, man. It just I feel like that this pursuing of players by Liverpool and Man City has really gotten to show you how serious these clubs are winning and about wanting to establish a Premier League dominance for the next decade or so. Because obviously, for example, they're obviously the most successful clubs in Northern England in City and in Liverpool. But on the other hand, you look at Manchester United here, and the reason why I'm bringing up Manchester United here in this conversation is because, it would be fun to see Manchester United be able to keep up with Liverpool and with City in the Premier League player title race or whatever you call it. But unfortunately, it looks to me here that Manchester United are really lagging, that they are really lagging behind. And I think a lot of that has to do with transfer negotiations, because one thing that I've noticed about Liverpool and Man City, especially these last, I have to say, probably 5 years now, is that they have a better transfer negotiation record and or better transfer negotiation abilities compared to Manchester United, because that's been one of the reasons why I think, on the other hand, you look at United here, the reason why they've been lagging behind is mainly because they just don't have the really good transfer negotiations like how they used to, basically 20 years ago. Because obviously 20 years ago, United just had the best transfer negotiation skills possible. I mean, think about it. They were able to land legendary players like Giggs, like Gary Neville, like Paul Scholes. You also have to look at Nemanja Vidic as well. Can't forget about the legend himself in Nemanja Vidic and Wayne Rooney and all that stuff, to name a few players, a few legendary players for United. But now United went from that to basically getting players that really have either only not lived up to expectations at the club, or they have really just absolutely flopped. And that's the really sad part here, on the other hand, about United, is that they've just not been able to keep up. And recently, that's what it just seems like, is that Liverpool and Man City, they've overtaken United as just being able to have better transfer negotiation skills. But maybe that's a whole nother topic for another video, because this is mainly about the Darwin Nunez signing. So where do I see him fitting in Klopp's system? I think he's going to fit just fine in Klopp's system. I honestly would not be surprised if he were to take that starting job from Firmino, if he can outperform Firmino. Now, obviously, only time will tell, but hey, you got to be happy here for Liverpool. They got themselves a hell of a player here. And, right after that Champions League final loss, after that Champions League final loss again to Madrid, Liverpool, they're getting right to work again, and now they are just getting themselves another player that can really pay off their dividends for Liverpool, and one that can really establish themselves as a solid foundation for the club. Now, obviously, to succeed in the Premier League, you have to have a striker. You have to have a striker. No ifs and buts. You really have to have a striker if you want to be able to even compete, not just for a Premier League title, but for a Champions League, because we saw for both City and for Liverpool that if only they had a solid lethal striker, then maybe, just maybe, they would have been able to beat Madrid in the Champions League. But now that both clubs got Haaland and Nunez, it's going to be now time to determine who's going to have the better season, Haaland or Nunez. But me personally, if I had to pick here, I'm going to say I think Haaland's going to have the better season compared to Nunez. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because obviously Nunez, hey, he's a great player and all, but obviously it's just crazy to me how Liverpool, after that, after Nunez only had one good season, they already, shelled out all this money for him. While for Haaland, obviously he had like from the time he came to Borussia Dortmund, he had, just consistent season after consistent season after consistent season, and basically Manchester City, on the other hand, they basically, just, in other words, broke the bank to get Haaland. But obviously, City, they have more capital compared to Liverpool and both Manchester United. But right now, just this signing mainly, I think that Jurgen Klopp will definitely know how to utilize him, because obviously he's also been sought by Manchester United as well. But it seems to me that Liverpool has become the more attractive transfer destination for players compared to Manchester United. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Liverpool, obviously, in the last 10 years, they've been practically more successful than United have. And that's obviously the reason why this has happened, because obviously, say that this transfer happened 10 years ago, obviously more likely United would have been the more attractive transfer destination. But now it's become the complete opposite here. So Darwin Nunez going to Liverpool. How do I think this is going to work out? Well, the way how I see this happening is if Nunez can be very consistent like how he was at Benfica here, then I definitely imagine him taking over Firmino's starting position, because obviously with Liverpool, them losing Mane in this transfer window, obviously they got to make up for it somehow. And obviously, what better way would it be than to go after a player in Darwin Nunez? So I think that this is going to definitely make up well for Liverpool, losing Mane, because it seems to me that it's inevitable that Liverpool are going to lose Mane in the transfer window. But obviously, Liverpool, they done it. They really, I think, have gotten themselves another player that's going to be a foundation for the club, and that can help them steer into another Champions League final. Because, I mean, let's be honest here, Liverpool, I don't think they're done completely. I think that they are still going to be in a constant Champions League competition for many years to come, as long as Klopp is the manager, and as long as Salah can have his top form, and as long as as long as he can just continue to utilize the players, then I think Liverpool, they're going to be really golden still for the next I have to say decade, especially with Man City, because right now it seems to me that in the Premier League it's basically become now all about either whether Liverpool or whether City are going to win that Premier League title. Because obviously, you look at United here, as much as I want to, see United also be in that constant race. Right now, unfortunately, reality for United, on the other hand, in Northern England, it seems to me that things are kind of might not be getting easier for United. But hey, I mean, maybe United can still challenge Liverpool and both City for that Premier League title. It also depends on how they're going to do under Ten Hag. But obviously, say that United were able to secure Nunez's signature, this would have been, I think, a big boost for Ten Hag. But seems to me that Liverpool, they won the race, they won his signature, and yeah, that's just the way how the transfer went down. So let me know what did you people think about this in the comment section below. If you also liked my take on it, then make sure to subscribe, like the video, and see you in another video.